I walked out of Send Help feeling uneasy. Not shocked, not thrilled, just wrong. At first, I thought it was just the movie being meaner than I expected, but the more I sat with it, the more I realized that wasn't it. The discomfort wasn't coming from the violence or the tone. It was coming from how little the movie seemed interested in making me feel okay about enjoying it. And that's when something clicked. Send Help isn't trying to be brave. It isn't trying to be provocative. It's doing something much more specific than that. It's refusing to be merciful.
As an executive, I see no value in you.
What?
Take your seats.
What's up, my know-it-alls? All right, so today we're looking at Sam Raimi's latest, but we aren't just reviewing it. We're diagnosing why it feels like it's attacking us. Watching this, I kept waiting for the release valve, the moment where the movie would soften the edge, the moment where it would reassure me who I was supposed to root for, the moment where it would step in and say, okay, you've had enough, discomfort aside, here's your moral footing back. And it never comes. That absence starts to feel deliberate. This is the thing I couldn't stop circling. Narrative mercy. I don't mean empathy. I mean mercy. The kind of storytelling where a film intervenes to protect the audience from the implications of its own setup. Where it cushions the consequences so you don't have to sit with what the story actually implies. Send Help never does that. I had to look back at why Raimi's brand of mean usually works for me, and I realized the man has always been cruel. That's not new. What's new is that he usually gives us an out. Think about it. In Evil Dead 2, suffering turns into slapstick. You laugh because the movie lets you. In Drag Me to Hell, the abstraction of demons and curses creates distance. Even in Spider-Man, pain is framed as destiny. Those are pressure valves. What Send Help does is remove every one of those escape hatches. There's no slapstick rhythm to drain the tension, no supernatural excess to hide behind. The cruelty just sits there. And once you realize Raimi has deliberately stripped away the tools he normally uses to protect us, the audience, the movie stops feeling restrained. And it starts feeling intentional. Which is why, at this point, I started questioning the setup. Because this is not a neutral scenario. Once you realize the safety gear is gone, you start to see how much Raimi rigs the remaining situation. He chooses a boss and an employee. He chooses a world where titles matter obsessively and then instantly stops mattering at all. At first, that really bothered me. It felt too narrow, too, lab grown. And then it hit me. That's the point. He's not exploring human nature broadly. He's diagnosing protection. Who gets it by default? Who survives without it? And what collapses when it disappears? Once I framed it that way, the cruelty stopped feeling random and started feeling engineered. What makes the film work is that the cruelty is structural, not just an attitude. Walk with me. In the corporate world, cruelty is social, procedural. It hides behind HR policies. Authority exists because everyone agrees to pretend it does. On the island, cruelty becomes physical. Hunger, injury, exposure. The power dynamic flips, but the behavior does not. I kept waiting for Bradley to change, for the arc to kick in, and he just didn't. He keeps performing authority long after it's lost all meaning. Linda stops performing entirely and just becomes functional. Raimi forces that through the craft, through blocking that isolates Bradley even when he's loud, through editing that refuses to sentimentalize pain. This isn't a theme being suggested. I would argue it's a system that's really being enforced. And then comes the uncomfortable part. Somewhere along the way, I realized I was enjoying it. Not just intellectually, emotionally. Part of the pleasure is punitive. I enjoyed watching protection fail. I enjoyed watching entitlement collapse. I enjoyed watching someone who had never paid consequences finally pay them. And the movie never forgives me for that. It never reframes my reaction as virtuous. It never reassures me that laughing makes me a good person. It just lets the laughter sit next to the cruelty and ultimately moves on. That's why Send Help sticks with me. It refuses narrative absolution. It refuses to rescue the audience from the implications of what we're enjoying. So there you go. Now you know. And if knowing is half the battle, you're halfway to being a know-it-all yourself. So what is the know-it-all index for Send Help? Man. It's a brutal exercise in craft that doesn't really care if you like it. And honestly, we need more of that. That's why I'm giving Send Help a well-earned and absolutely deserved 8 out of 10.
I don't think we should ever leave.
But I want to hear from you guys. Am I reading too much into Raimi's Cruelty? Or is this the most honest film he's made in decades? What's your favorite mean Raimi moment? Is it an Evil Dead or something darker? Let's get into it in the comments. All right, guys, thank you so much for everything, of course. And until next time, never forget, everyone loves to know it. Bye, guys.